Good morning. I'm Pisces. I'm servant. I am servant. I am Pisces. I'm both ways today. We was talking yesterday on the part of Abaddon. Abaddon is the actual reference to it. Avadav. Avadav is also the Hebrew word. Means ruin, perdition, and destruction. And it's it occurs 6 times in the Old Testament. I didn't do so well on that last night on the sovereignty of the Father, and that one was Job declares God's sovereignty. I'll have to redo that one. I mean, there was more to it. I just didn't have it. I actually had it written down. I just didn't know I had it, but I'll clear that up for sure. Now, the one that we're going to now is Psalms 88, and it is a prayer of deliverance from death. O Lord, the most high, righteous, and loved God, O my salvation, I heard a cry. I have cried day and night before thee. Let my prayer come before thee. Incline thine ear unto my cry, for my soul is full of troubles, and my life draweth nigh unto the grave. I am counted with them that go down to the pit. I am as a man that hath no strength, free among the dead, like the slain that lie in the grave, whom thou rememberest no more. And they are cut off from thy hand. Thou hast laid me in the lowest pit, in darkness and in deeps. Thy wrath lieth hard upon me, and thou hast afflicted me with all thy waves. Selah. Thou hast put away mine acquaintances far from me. Thou hast made my abomination unto them. I am shut up, and I cannot come forth. Mine eyes mourneth by reason of affliction. Lord, the most high, righteous, and loved, I have called daily upon thee. I have stretched out my hands unto thee. Wilt thou show wonders to the dead? Shall the dead arise and praise thee? Selah. Shall the loving kindness be declared in the grave, or thy faithfulness in destruction? Shall thy wonders be known in the dark, and in the righteousness in the land of the forgetfulness? But unto thee I cried, O Lord, the most high, righteous, and loved, and in the morning shall my prayer prevent thee. Lord, the most high, righteous, and loved, why cast thou off my soul? Why hidest thou thy face from me? I am afflicted and ready to die from my youth up. While I suffer the terrors, I am destructed. Their fierce wrath goeth over me. The terrors have cut me off. They came around about me daily like water. They compassed me about together. Lover and friend hast thou put far from me, and mine acquaintances into the darkness. Understand that this is the part of the understanding of what they call the night of the dark souls, and it's real, and it happens, but it's not as the purpose as you would understand it. This is when you get in the spin cycle and don't know anything about what's going on in your life. You have everybody just abandons you because you figured out the game plan. And, the point of what the Father does, I'll get into it at the end of this, after the end of it. But the thing about it is, understand that when you get there and you don't know what's going on and you feel this and it troubles you constantly, okay? Because everybody just, they thought that they had you in a bind, and they thought they can control your actions and do what they wanted to do with you. Understand that when you get here, this is where you're at, Okay? Psalms 88. And the point where I always say go to Psalms 119, precepts, statutes, commandments, testimonies, because that's the only way that you come out from underneath. Okay? You understand it where you're at. Personal ability, the situations that you're in, addictions, immorality, all these things have a control access to this, Psalms 88, and that's what you bring upon yourself because you don't recognize it, because you're just a good person and you just really want to do well for everybody, and you really want. This is not the world we live in anymore. It's like, when you get to the end of this and you say, okay, I have understanding. I understand that I'm in a spin cycle. I understand that I'm going through these hardships, and I understand that attachments and heaps and all these things are congregated on me. Now, how do I get out from underneath that? The part of it is in Psalms. You read 119, and then you read all the Psalms from front to back. Each one of those prayers will pull an attachment away from you. Okay? That's the Father's gift. You read about yourself, and then you read unto the Father. Okay? Then you come up. And when I say, power and timeline, or energy and timeline, that is how it works. Because once you remove one, another, and another, you stay time with the Father. Well, let me tell you something. If you're alone, and you have means to be alone, and you're doing it by yourself, you're not really doing it by yourself, you're doing it with the Father. Okay? The point of thy wrath lieth hard upon me. And I'll explain all of that when I get to the end of this. And it will be enlightening, let's put it to you that way. The thing about trying to explain as I go, there's a lot to it. And at the end, the explanation is going to come clear. It will be just as clear as buttermilk. No, it'll be clear as clean water from the Father. Okay? So understand where you're at, what you're doing, where you're going. You're hurting. Your pain is real. Okay? And you understand it by the time, at the ends of where you're at and what you're going through, and how you're getting over everything and overcoming each one of these hurdles. But the only way you're getting over it is through the Father. If you don't, then guess what? You're going to carry that throughout the rest of your life, wondering why, how, what should we do, why. There's no why. There's understanding, okay? And mine is the understanding that I know what I understand, and I know what I've done, and I know what I've been through. And that's the part of the Father that I understand. And that's why I said, I personally know that Father is real, okay? Jesus is real. But anyhow, I digress. Okay. Now we're into the Proverbs. 1:15:11. Well, let me read 88:11. 88:11. Shall thou loving kindness be declared in the grave, or thy faithfulness in destruction? Avadadav. Avadadav, ruin, perdition, destruction. And that's where you're at. That's where you're headed. That's what's going on. That's what's happening in your life. So hang on. God has got you. Just spend time with Him. Every bit of time you can if you're in these problems. So Proverbs 15:11. Which would have been part of the upright and the wicked contrasted. Okay? See if I can start here. A soft answer turneth away wrath, That's what I always said. Just poking somebody, hi, how you doing? God loves you. But grievous words stir up anger. That's the point of the argument, the issue within yourself. It's not their problem, okay? Whenever they say something to you, it's your problem. You have a problem to point to say, okay, I'm going to be very nice and I'm going to do what God tells me to do. And this is the way it's going to happen. I love you, man. Like I love every one of you. The tongue of the wise uses knowledge aright, but the mouth of fools poureth out foolishness. Okay. The eyes of the Lord, the most high, righteous, and loved, are in every place, beholding the evil and the good. A wholesome tongue is a tree of life, but perverseness therein is a breach in the spirit. A fool despiseth his father's instruction, but he that regardeth reproof is prudent. In the house of the righteous is much treasure, but in the ravenous of the wicked is trouble. The lips of the wise disperse knowledge, but the heart of the foolish doeth not so. The sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination to the Lord, the most high, righteous, and love. But the prayer of the upright is his delight. The way of the wicked is an abomination to the Lord, the most high, righteous, and love. But he loveth him that followeth after righteousness. Correction is grievous unto him that forsake the way, and he that hath reproof shall die. Hell and destruction, abaddon. Hell and destruction are before the Lord, the most high, righteous, and love. How much more than the hearts of the children of men? Okay? Kings, queens. If you live your life in total strife and you have all these things that you have confrontational, understand that your children's going to have the same confrontational problems. And the only way to settle that is through the Father. Prayer at the table, understanding at the table, understanding here to spend some time with him. A scorner loveth no one that reproved him, and neither will he go unto the wise. A merry heart maketh a cheerful countenance, but a sorrow of the heart, the spirit is broken. The heart of him that hath understanding seeketh knowledge, but the mouth of the fools feedeth the foolishness. All the days of the afflicted are evil, but he that is of merry heart hath continually feasted. Better is a little with a fear of the Lord, the most high, righteous, love, than great treasures and trouble therewith. Better is dinner of herbs where love is, than a stalled ox and hatred therewith. And wrathful man stirreth up strife, but he that is slow to anger opposeth strife. Appeaseth strife. The way of the slothful man is a hedge of the thorns, but the way of the righteous is made upon plain and wise. Son maketh a glad father, but a foolish man despiseth his mother. Folly is a joy to him that is destitute of wisdom, but a man of understanding walketh upright. Without counsel, purposes are disappointed. But in the multitude of the counselor they are established. A man hath joy by the answer of his mouth, and a word spoken in due season, how good is it? The way of life is above, I'm at 14 minutes, above to the wise, that he may depart from hell beneath. The Lord, the most high, righteous, and love, will destroy the house of the proud, but he will establish the border of the widow. That those of the wicked are an abomination of the Lord, the most high, righteous, and love, but the words of the pure are pleasant words. He that is greedy of gain troubleth his own house, but he that hath gifts shall live. The heart of the righteous studieth to answer, but the mouth of the wicked poureth out evil things. The Lord, the Most High, righteous in love, is far from the wicked, but he heareth the prayer of the righteous. The light of the eyes rejoice the heart, and good report maketh the bones fat. The ear that heareth the reproof of life abideth among the wise. He that refresheth instruction despiseth his own soul. He that refuseth instruction despiseth his own soul. But he that heareth the reproof getteth understanding. The fear of the Lord, the Most High, righteous and loved, is the instruction of wisdom, and before honor is humility. Okay. I kind of made that a little long, but I guess I'll make this in 3 sessions. Anyways, people, understanding that what I'm telling you and what I'm reading you is the understanding of where you're at, or what you're doing, or what you have done, or what you're not going to do. Abide in the Father's precepts, statutes, commandments, and testimonies. Understand that wisdom is occurred more stricter in ways than you understand. Somebody says, "Hey, don't do that," in a tone of voice. There's a certain reason why he said that. It wasn't because that, or it might have been his. But the point of instruction is understand, okay, I shouldn't do that. Well, thank you very much. I didn't know. You understand? It's the point of understanding to where you're at the time of when something happens. Wisdom, the olive tree that doesn't produce fruit, okay? It has leaves but no fruit. Fruit comes before the leaf. So the thing about it is that the destruction of that tree was because it was not going to produce anything anymore. Understand where you're at and where you stand today under the Father's word. Because I'm telling you that, this is pretty serious for me to keep going at something. I don't know exactly what he's trying to get me to do, but everything that I come across is something that emerges to more and more and more, and it's food for your bones, okay? And I know what this one meant. It meant the difference between right and wrong, and having wisdom and having folly, okay? And that's the truth. And it is the truth because it's the Word of God. But anyways, somebody needs to get saved, get them saved. Somebody needs to get some help, get them some help. I'll help as much as I can from here. I'm doing everything I can possibly say. But understand that you're children of God. Your name is written in the book of life, okay? You are your own planet. You live with the Father, okay, in His presence. And His presence are the gifts in front of you, okay? So understand, He loves you. I love you. Jesus on your lips. Legions of angels. Legions. You need help? Ask Jesus. Jesus. He's there, and spend the time with Him. He'll get you there. Anyways, I'm Servant. I'm Pisces. Have a good one.